Welcome to another installment in my complete chronological rewatch, where I'll be going back through almost every Star Wars film and show as I work my way to the Rise of Skywalker. I've already checked out some of the movies already, so be sure to check that out for yourself. Today we're going over the Clone Wars Season 1, Episode 16, The Hidden Enemy. Set in 22 BBY, the same year that the Clone Wars began, Anakin and Obi-Wan discover evidence of a traitor amongst their ranks while attempting to lead Republic forces to liberate the planet of Christophsis from a Separatist siege. When the Republic is ambushed on Christophsis, it becomes clear that someone has set them up. The Jedi suspect the Sith, while Rex and Cody uncover information that points to a spy amongst them. The series as a whole does an excellent job of introducing new and interesting planets, a lot of which I would love to see show up again in future stories, and Christophsis is one of those. I love the way the landscape looks, with the sharp teal buildings jutting into the skyline, and it's a very geometrical planet. And yet we've never seen any inhabitants of the planet because of the war, so that is something I'd be interested to learn more about, if those inhabitants exist. The theme of the episode is truth enlightens the mind, but won't always bring happiness to your heart. And while some of these are hard to connect to the episode, this one is pretty easy to figure out. Skywalker, Kenobi, Rex, and Cody all seek out who the spy is that has been revealing their information to the enemy, and even though they do find out who it is, it turns out to be a traitor, a clone in their own ranks. They have the truth, but it isn't the one they wanted. I'm sure they would have preferred for the spy to be Ventress or another Sith, rather than a traitor. I always enjoy the mystery and suspense elements that are throughout the episode, and chronologically this is the first time we get to see Rex and Cody have a big role in the story, where they are responsible for investigating within the base, while Skywalker and Kenobi go behind enemy lines to confront Ventress, whose initial banter with Kenobi was better for me after reading Brotherhood and knowing how the two of them initially met. The lightsaber battle between them was alright, utilizing both the blades and the Force, but with the older, slightly outdated animation, it does come off a lot slower than some of the new episodes like from Season 7. There was also a fist fight between the clones, but I think my favorite piece of action from the episode was still the opening sequence where they get ambushed due to it being on a larger scale and getting to see both Jedi and clones work together. Something that this episode does a lot better than the last one I watched was that it really humanizes the clones and gets me to think of them as characters rather than placeholders. They're without their helmets for almost the entire episode. We learn some of their names, and we get to see part of their normal life, with the mess hall and the barrack. This episode isn't as rewatchable after already knowing that Slick is a traitor, but the misdirection with another clone helps add some interest to the barrack scene. Slick is a very interesting villain for the episode, because while he does without a doubt do the wrong thing, he isn't exactly out of line with his reasoning. The clones were bred to fight and follow the Jedi's orders without questioning, making them almost slaves to the Republic. Having this take place early in the war and in the series really makes both the other clones and the audience think about the morals of the war and what's at stake with both the Republic and the Jedi. This episode also does a really good job of leading straight into where we pick up in the Clone Wars movie, which is next in my rewatch, both with Ventress kidnapping Rada and the Separatist attack on the planet. Let me know what you think of this episode in the comments below, and where it ranks among your favorite episodes. Remember to like the video, and subscribe to stay up to date with my chronological rewatch. As always, thank you all for watching, and remember, the Force will be with you, always.